Hello guys, so welcome to KO Tutorials. So here I am coming up with a small tutorial on mesh light in Vray. So let's get started. So very first of all, let's just take a plane over here. Let's go into rendering, render setup, and let's activate the Vray. Go into this, activate the Vray option over here. I'll just create a wall over here. So let's just create a wall. Go into material. So press M, go into material editor, and I'll just assign first a wall texture over here. So let's go into standard. Go into Vray material. Go into diffuse. Go into bitmap, and I'll go over here and I'll just assign a texture of a brick over here. So let's just assign a texture. For this, for a mesh light, let's create something like this. I'll just create a circle and go into rendering, enable in viewport, go into interpolation, increase the sides, increase the thickness, and convert to editable poly. Now the same way I'll go over here, I'll just take a text over here. Let's click on the text. So I'll just write some text over here for now at least. Okay, all right. So go over here into this. We can just give a bit of extrude, or we can just go into this modifier and let's just give a extrude modifier. Let's scale it. So we can just assign this over here. Drag it inside if needed. So let's go into the lights over here. Let's go into the light and take a Vray light. So let's take a Vray light. Draw a Vray light, and into that go into the type and let's take it as a mesh light. So let's give a mesh light over here, and into that mesh light pick mesh. So let's just pick a mesh over here, and let's take as a neon glow as any kind of a color you want. You need a pink or red or any other color you need it. Let's just reduce the multiplier to 5. Again I'll go over here, I'll again take one more Vray light and let's take it as a mesh, and I'll give it a yellowish color. Again go into that, pick mesh and click on this. So let's just give that over here. Now go into the rendering. Okay, make sure your multiplier is a bit lesser. Go into rendering, go into render setup, and let's go into GI, primary engine. I'll keep it as 3dsmax, the light cache on the secondary, and let's render and see how it looks like. As you can see, it's glowing now. So first I'll just save this. Just to show you over here, I'll just, it's better you save it. It's much better. So go into rendering, render setup, and increase it to the HD over here. And now let's render it again. So now you can see it's glowing over here. So whenever you're using a mesh light, so let it render first. So let it render. Alright, you can see a glow. So apart from that, if you want to assign any kind of light for the support, that can be done over here. So even I can add one more Vray light just from the top over here. So I can add a Vray light if needed from the top. So as you can see over here now, if you make it as a Vray light material, Vray IPR, I'm sorry. Go into this, let's keep it as white only, and the intensity I'll keep it as very less. As you can see now, yeah, it's glowing. So we can assign this Vray light from top of it. So it's going to glow, it's going to give you a glow over here. So you can work with the intensities as needed. Now the other way is like if you are creating any kind of other light. So if you have any kind of a light box or something like this. So let's again convert to poly. Let's go over here. I'll just take a copy of it if needed. I'll just scale it. So again I'll go over here. Let's again take a Vray light and select this, and let's take it again as a mesh, reduce it to 5 over here, and go into the mesh light, pick mesh. I'll just pick a mesh over here, and apart from that you have a texture map also. Let's click over here, go into the bitmap, and for an instance what I'll do is I'll just assign any kind of a texture map if needed. So let's just take a example. I have this as a texture map on top of it. Select the back part, go into the material, standard, and let's take a Vray light material on the back. So now if you go over here and if you render it, so you will see that it is going to give you a glow in the front. So if you just see this, both the elements together. So for the first one I'll just give the light as 2 multiplier. Now just render it and see. So it is giving you the illumination or the glow over here, kind of a board light if you see this. And on the back part what I have assigned is, it's the light material. So it is going to work as a light. So So if you want to show something light inside the board or something, so this can work out over here perfectly. So I have taken it as a mesh light over here, and also I have taken a texture over here. So if you don't take a texture, it will glow. If you don't take a texture, it will only glow. If you take a texture, it will going to give you a glow with the light. So this both things can work correctly over here in mesh light. If you have something like this, let's just increase the height slightly, and let's just give a twist modifier if needed, or else I'll just convert to poly. Let's just add 2 loops and give a twist over here. So you can just twist it. So once you twist it and convert to poly, now you want to make sure that it should glow over here. So I can assign the glow over here, or I can just add it as a light also. That can work in this way. So it has to be selected as an object, or else you need to create it or make it separate over here. So let's go into the light and let's take a Vray light, and let's take it as again a mesh light and pick the mesh. So you can just pick a mesh and you can just give anything over here like this, any color or something you need, and let's render it. This is going to give you a glow as a light. So that can also be done. Make it as a yellow light or something. Alright, let's render and see. Alright, so guys, if any doubts, please put it in the comment section over here. This is how we can work with a mesh light, where it can work like a glow, where you can put it for the text also. You can also use it as a rope light also, in many ways. So thanks for watching this tutorial.